We are back on the First and Goal podcast. I'm here with Jacob. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Another day. Being a Bears fan, it's tough. It's a tough life.
Yeah, I can imagine. I saw a stat today. Speaking of the Bears, Bears Packers Sunday Night Football. The Bears have not scored over 27 points, 27 or 28 points since 2007 against the Packers.
Sounds about right. Um, yeah, it's been brutal. I mean, it's not gonna be a good week. We're gonna get killed for Justin Fields. I don't even know why we're putting him out there. We can jump right into that. We saw what Andy Dalton could do. He's a very, very awful quarterback. He threw 4 interceptions, and Matt Nagy had the courage to get in front of the microphone and say that he was proud of Andy Dalton and how much he battled out there.
I would be too.
He shouldn't be on a roster. He sucks. He's awful. Nick Foles should have been in that game. I'm not sure why he wasn't. Justin Fields, bruised ribs, sounds like an excuse to give Andy Dalton another try. They saw how that happened, and now we get to shove Justin Fields out there where he's going to get annihilated by the Packers. It's going to be a mockery of a Sunday Night Football game. Why the NFL didn't flex this out of the Sunday Night Football game is beyond me. The Bears are not competitive. They're going to lose this game by at least 20. It's going to be a joke.
What, are you just done with the season as a Bears fan?
I'm done with Matt Nagy. I'm done with Ryan Pace. I'm done with Andy Dalton. I'm done with Allen Robinson. I'm done with most of this team. We had an assistant offensive lineman or line coach just quit, get up and leave. He's now at Nebraska as their offensive line coach. So, I mean, if you're going from the Chicago Bears to the Nebraska Cornhuskers, that just speaks volumes about the coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why this game's not flexed. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really looked at the schedule for this upcoming week, other than, you say it's Bears Packers. It's the league's oldest rivalry.
It doesn't even matter. I mean, tonight we have a thrilling game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings coming off the worst loss of the season. Gives me hope. The Bears still have to play them twice. So maybe the Bears can squeak out some wins because they couldn't even beat the Lions. And Pittsburgh, it's Big Ben's farewell tour, it sounds like. So we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, that was rough for the Vikings to lose in Detroit.
You know what game you flex? You flex the Cowboys and Washington football team. That's a better game. You flex the Baltimore Ravens and Cleveland Browns. You could flex the Raiders and Chiefs. That might be about it, actually. Oh, Buffalo Bills and Tampa Bay Bucks. 49ers.
Oh, yeah,
Bengals.
Buffalo, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, 49ers Bengals. That's another good game. Why aren't any of these games flexed?
What, you don't want to see the Bears get annihilated in on prime time?
It's going to be a joke. The Bears should be nowhere near prime time. This team is not built to win right now. Thank God they're going to have a lot of money to spend this offseason. The only issue is Ryan Pace going to be the one spending the money? Because if we are, then we're going to be right back in the same situation on December 9th, 2022.
Yeah, I mean, the one guy I think you bring back, trying to bring back, which I think he has no interest in playing in Chicago anymore, is Allen Robinson.
Nah, I'd say get rid of him. I think he's going to demand too much money. I think there's so many holes on this team that you need to use that money elsewhere. If you can get a guy like Cortland Sutton at a lower deal, or I mean, if you're going to spend that type of money, a top 5 guy, Deonte Adams, I don't really buy into that idea. However, that's the big rumor out there is maybe Deonte Adams would become a Chicago Bear. If you're Devontae, I don't know why you would do that, but who knows? They're going to have money to spend. They're going to have to pay Roquan this offseason. So I don't know. The Bears are going to have some holes. They're going to need to build that O-line. They don't have a first-round pick. So, I mean, you got to do something. We'll see what they do. I would expect a low-end wide receiver 1 to kind of complement Mooney and maybe draft David Bell out of Purdue in the second round if he's still there. And then you have those 3 lining up. And you got Jimmy Graham out. So Cole Kmet, awful drop this week, but he'll improve.
Yeah, I mean, I think priority 1 for the Bears this offseason is bringing in O-line help for Fields.
Yeah, I mean the run game is fine. You have Montgomery and you have Herbert. Williams is probably on his way out, but who cares? You also have really a young tight end that could be very talented if we can get him involved in the right offense. But again, that goes back to coaching. This coaching staff needs to go. A loss this week that's bad might be the end of it.
Yeah, I think I saw Matt Nagy is 1-6 against the team that he's going up against in his career.
Yeah, I mean, this is the only divisional opponent that he hasn't historically been beating. Now, it's probably the most important divisional opponent that you need to beat, but especially being a Bears, Chicago, like you have to beat the Packers if you want to keep your job. And it hasn't happened in a long time. Lovie Smith was really the last one to had any answer to it. And we fired him after a 10-6 season. So I'm not sure what we're waiting on now.
Yeah, I mean, it's been about 30 years for the Bears of not being able to beat a divisional opponent.
I do think it's going to change, but I think there's got to be a lot of changes within the organization before anything else changes. Enough with the Bears, though. Let's talk about a winning organization. The Patriots are back. The Patriots are the best team in the AFC. Dare I say, possibly the best team in the NFL. They're the most complete team, I'll say, in the NFL. I don't know if they're going to be the best team in the NFL. So we'll see what happens there. I do think that the Patriots are going to be, if not in the AFC Championship, then right on the doorstep. The Bills couldn't figure out the run game, which is very scary. That Mac Jones was able to win a game only throwing 3 passes.
Yeah, I saw something that according to like ESPN's like FPI, which like predicts it. Guess what the most likely Super Bowl matchup is?
I know. It's Buccaneers, Patriots, Tom Brady versus his old team. Now that would be a great game. It would be through the roof in ratings, even though I think if either of those two teams don't make it and the other one does, I think it does hurt the ratings. But if the two of them both make it, I think it does kind of expand the game in terms of importance. Belichick versus Brady, that's just storybook ending.
I mean, for me, if that actually does end up happening, I think that's the greatest storyline of my lifetime for any championship game ever.
Yeah, I
maybe
really
any game ever.
I couldn't think of anything crazier because it would truly prove if Tom Brady wins that game, Tom Brady was the reason. If Belichick wins that game, maybe Tom Brady doesn't have as many championships.
Oh, especially Bill Belichick with a rookie quarterback, the heir apparent to Brady.
Mm-hmm. Now,
beats
Patriots
Brady.
defense is undoubtedly better than the Buccaneers defense. So, I mean,
Belichick is a defensive coach.
It would be a great game regardless. I mean, I guess I'm cheering for that matchup. I didn't think I would be, but hey, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I mean, I'd prefer a different NFC team to represent the conference. You know, possibly another team that has an argument for the best team in football.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Especially, yeah, totally. But yeah, the Packers, you know, they're getting back healthy. I guess they had Jair Alexander, Zadarius Smith, and David Bakhtiari were all back at practice this week.
Are they going to play this week?
So I guess they're not on like schedule to play this week, but the next couple weeks you get 3 all-pro players back.
Thank you, God. Thank you for not trying to murder Justin Fields. Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be a fun week, I think. I think it's going to be an awful week to be a Bears fan, but hey, it just comes with being a fan of the Bears. You are pretty much always disappointed. I think that's enough for news. That's enough of me complaining about how terrible the Bears are. If you're a Bears fan, I highly encourage you to share this with your friends. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, oh, you're a fake Bears fan, blah, 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 blah. No, you have to be realistic with this team. This team is god-awful. But enough of that. Steelers, Vikings, starting in 10 minutes. So by the time you listen to this, this game's actually going to be over. But for the sake of our picks against each other, Steelers are +3.5 at Minnesota. I'm going to go Steelers. I don't think Minnesota's a good team. I know they're going to have to try to bounce back after a Lions loss. A loss here might be the end of Mike Zimmer, but see you later, Zimmer. I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, Minnesota coming off one of the worst losses of the year, if not the worst loss of the year. Dan Campbell was so happy after that game.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Dan Campbell after you take this pick. Actually, we'll talk about him once we kind of get through the picks.
Yeah, I mean, I like the moment, but yeah, we'll get through it. I'm actually going. Dalvin Cook is coming back this week, which he's the engine that makes that offense go for Minnesota. Hopefully, one of our co-hosts in our fantasy league decides to put Dalvin Cook in his lineup. Last time I looked about an hour ago, Dalvin Cook was not in his lineup, but yeah, I'm going Minnesota -3 here at home.
Falcons at Panthers. Panthers are favorited by 2.5. I can't believe that for even a second. Give me the Falcons +2.5. I don't really understand the firing of Joe Brady. I don't think I ever will. I think that organization is just going downhill quick now again. I'm taking Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going Falcons +2.5. I mean, what? It's crazy. Joe Brady went from being a head coach candidate this next offseason. I think you talked about at the beginning of the year, him being one of your favorites for the Bears job.
I talked about it literally like 3 weeks ago. I still think he could be a head coach.
To being let go during the bye week.
Yeah, I don't understand the move. Just quite frankly, but that's just me. Ravens at Browns. Browns are coming off the bye week. -2.5. I'm taking the Browns. I think that they just played the Ravens. They had the bye week. They now know what they had to kind of do to beat Lamar. I feel like -2.5 at home is not that crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Baltimore won the game with Lamar throwing 4 interceptions. I mean, Marlon Humphreys I think he's done for the year right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a big loss. But, I mean, the Browns lost to a guy who threw turned the ball over 4 times. I'm going to go Baltimore. It's +2.5.
So quick update, 8 minutes until the game. Gar still doesn't have Dalvin Cook in. He does have Alexander Madison in, and he also doesn't have Aaron Jones in his lineup yet. So we'll see how this goes. Cowboys -4.5 at Washington. Washington coming off of a loss that I feel like they should have won that game.
They won.
Oh, wait, they did win that game? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 17-15, I think.
Right. I'm taking Washington. Taking Washington +4.5. I just think that this team still has what it takes to make the playoffs. And I think it starts with a big win against the Cowboys.
Give me the Cowboys -4.5 here. I don't trust that Washington pass defense against Dak. and those weapons, I think Cooper's done for the year, but they got Gallup back. CeeDee Lamb has looked like a stud all year.
You're right. Washington did win. The reason I was thinking they lost was because I needed Taylor Heineke to throw for over 242 yards. He didn't even come close to that number, and I was cheering for overtime the entire game. So they didn't lose. I did. Jaguars at Titans. Titans are favorited by 9 points. I'm taking Jaguars +9. I just feel like they're improving.
Give me Tennessee -9. I think that defense is playing better. Tannehill, I trust him way more than Trevor Lawrence at this point in their careers. And I think Vrabel is just going to be able to out coach circles around Urban Meyer at the pro level.
Raiders at Chiefs. Chiefs are favorited by 9.5. I do think the Raiders have thrown in the towel for the season, as would most people. So I'm taking Chiefs minus 9.5.
Yeah, who would have thought to begin the year the Chiefs defense would look this dominant,
I mean, are you really
especially
surprised?
how bad they were playing to start the year. But yeah, give me Kansas City minus 9.5.
Saints at Jets, probably the worst game of the week, and that's coming from a Bears fan. Saints are favored by 5.5. I think I'm going to take the Jets plus 5.5 at home.
I'm right with you. I'm going Jets plus 5.5 here. I think the Saints are on like a 5 or 6 game losing streak at this point. So yeah, they're not playing well, and I do not trust whoever the quarterback is, whether it be Simeon or Hill.
Seahawks at the Texans, who will be quarterbacked by Davis Webb. They have officially benched Tyrod Taylor. So
You mean Davis Mills?
yeah, Webb's on the Vikings.
I mean, he might even be out of the league. I don't know.
Who was the guy that they drafted?
Kellen Mond.
I don't know why I thought that was the same person. Davis Mills. With that being said, Texans plus 8. I
You're
just
going
think the
Houston
Seahawks are
plus
so
8?
bad.
I think the Texans are terrible. I'm going Seattle minus 8.
Maybe this should have been the Sunday night game. Two big cities that just love football. Detroit Lions coming off a big win. Get to go to Denver, where they are the underdogs by 9.5 points. I'm going to take Detroit plus 9.5. I feel like they've played teams tough. They almost beat the Ravens. They almost beat the Bears. I don't know. I'm going to take Detroit plus 9.5. That seems like a big number.
Yeah, especially how bad the Broncos looked on Sunday Night Football.
Right.
Yeah, Detroit they got their first win this past week, but yeah, they've been playing teams tough all year. They probably should have beat the Ravens. Probably should have beat the Bears on Thanksgiving. So yeah, give me Detroit plus 9.5.
Giants at Chargers. Chargers are favored by 10. I just feel like the Chargers don't blow teams out.
Except last week.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like they generally play teams close. Now the Giants, I heard, have Jake Fromm starting at quarterback because Glennon got hurt. So I'm going to take the Chargers minus 10, but that's mostly just because I don't even know who's still going to be playing on the offense for the Giants.
Yeah, give me the Chargers minus 10. I mean, I think this is a bit of a letdown week for them after coming off that big win against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, absolutely blowing them out. But hopefully they can keep the momentum going, and I like the Chargers minus 10.
Bills at Bucks. Bucks minus 3.5. Tell me if you've heard this before, if you're a Bills fan. The Bills season got derailed by Tom Brady and the Patriots. I'm going to take the Buccaneers minus 3.5. Sorry, Bills fans.
Yeah, that defense just got annihilated by the Patriots offense with Mac Jones throwing 3 passes.
And now they get to go to sunny Tampa Bay.
Yeah, the defense, I don't know. Is something wrong with Josh Allen at this point in the season?
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, you kind of saw it coming with the fact that the Bills really only have Josh Allen. If Josh Allen can't get the ball to Stephon Diggs or do it with his feet, the team's kind of screwed. I know you can say like Cole Beasley is a big part of the offense, Dawson Knox, but realistically, they're not that big of difference makers. They have really no run game outside of Josh Allen.
Yeah. I like Tampa minus 3.5 here. I think Brady's just playing unbelievable football for a 45-year-old now.
Yeah. 49ers at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's underdogs by 1.5 coming off the loss to the Chargers. I'm going to take Cincinnati. I think they'll get back on the right track. I'm actually surprised that they are underdogs at home.
Yeah, most good teams, when they get blown out like that, they come back with a vengeance. You're going to prepare more in practice. You're going to be like, I don't want this to happen again. And Cincinnati's been a pretty good team this year. So yeah, I like Cincinnati plus 1.5.
Have you taken a look at the lines for the Sunday night football game?
No.
What do you think that the line is?
So Justin Fields coming back
Try not to cheat here.
at Green Bay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say maybe 16.5.
It's only 12.5, which makes this the easiest pick of the week. Give me the Packers. Justin Fields, I love you. I think you're going to be a good quarterback in this league, but until you get some help out there, I just can't pick you.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers pass rush just looked dangerous the last couple of weeks. I don't know how the Bears are going to be able to protect Justin Fields. And I don't see that defense really putting up much of a fight against Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
With Aaron Jones coming back this week with more of an expanded role than what he's had. So yeah, give me the Packers minus 12.5.
And the Monday night football game, Rams at Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by 2.5. I'm actually going to take the Rams. I think the Rams are going to start making a climb, hopefully making a push towards first place, at least in their hopes, first place. But I think it has to start here, and they know that. So Rams plus 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that either the Packers have to win out and the Cardinals need to lose one more game for that number 1 seed for the playoffs to come through Lambeau. So I'm hoping the Rams can pull one out and beat the Cardinals again. So yeah, give me the Rams plus 2.5.
All right, so that's all the games. So we said we're going to talk about Dan Campbell for a minute. Really happy for the guy. I think that it was well deserved. But he's really soft. I can't do it. I don't think I like him, but I'd probably like him if he was my neighbor. I wouldn't like him as my head football coach.
I don't know. I feel like the guys in Detroit really like him.
He's definitely passionate.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to see a head coach that happy, even just getting his first win of his head coaching career, compared to, somebody not reacting at all, where a win's a win. Don't care too much.
Yeah. We're on to the next team. I don't know. Dan Campbell, we're happy for you. You made Jared Goff win a game in the NFL. Not every guy can do that.
I mean, Sean McVay brought him to a Super Bowl.
Sean McVay is a legend. Sean McVay is what I wish Matt Nagy was.
Wasn't Matt Nagy supposed to be the next Sean McVay?
Yes. If you want to, did you listen to any of the Matt Nagy post-game interviews?
No.
It is probably the most predictable thing. Here's an excerpt of what he probably said about 15 times.
Lose, you gotta look into the whys, and we understand that. I think lose, you gotta.
Everything is always, let's find a why. The why is that you guys suck at coaching. You guys can't have zero roster. Then you have Sean McVay, who's on the other end, hyping everyone up. He told Van Jefferson that he loved him. Did you see that interview or that clip?
No.
Sean McVay was mic'd up. He's probably the most inspirational coach in the league. Told OBJ to be patient. He almost told OBJ that he was so patient that he thought he didn't run the route. So McVay, hats off. You're probably going to win Coach of the Year again. Or Cliff Kingsbury. Probably more likely.
Cliff.
Probably more likely Cliff Kingsbury, but regardless, everyone's going to know that McVay's a top 5 coach of this league. That's pretty much everything I got. Do you have anything else?
Oh, yeah. I guess one more thing I'll add is it's crazy how many head coaches in the NFL have their names in the college football ranks now.
Yeah.
Or removed for jobs.
Yeah. Is Matt Nagy going to get a job? Could someone offer him a job like today so he has to accept it tomorrow?
I mean, from what I saw, UCLA may have a head coaching opening soon.
Perfect. Matt Nagy loves warm weather.
Chip Kelly. I guess Oregon's interested in bringing Chip Kelly back.
I did see that.
Since Cristobal left for Miami.
If I was Eric Bieniemy, I'd go college.
Especially after getting in a heated exchange with Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, hey, college pays for sure. And if you're good, the job security is there.
I mean, look at somebody that's, granted, the end of his career wasn't so great, but Joe Pa.
Yeah, Joe Pa. I mean, look how many chances Michigan gave Jim Harbaugh, and he's now in the playoff. Urban Meyer, he had so many allegations against him. No one fired Urban Meyer.
Yeah, in college, if you win, it doesn't matter how you win.
Exactly. As long as you're at a big-time college football school, you could do whatever you want.
You can pay players, and they'll just probably fine you.
Well, now
or
that's
sweep
legal,
it under the rug. Well, I mean, okay, they can get paid for like advertisements and stuff. They still can't get paid by the school.
Well, if you have a secret little deal with the local car dealership and say, hey, you're going to give this player $1 million in a commercial, that's one way around it. So I don't know. A lot of these coaches should look at college jobs. That's all we're really saying.
Also, you have to think about it. I mean, the only thing is college football is a year-round job as a head coach.
Well, so should the NFL. Let's not forget that.
I mean, the NFL, though, you have that supporting network of a GM, or most teams have a GM, scouts, where all they have to worry about is football, whereas college coaches have to worry about the recruiting, keeping the boosters happy, and also winning on the field.
It's pretty easy to me.
Maybe if you're Nick Saban and can just get the top recruiting class every year.
Jim Harbaugh was climbing trees. Like, no NFL coach was doing that.
Oh, yeah, I saw something. Did you know Jim Harbaugh his salary is like 12th or 13th in the Big Ten?
Yeah, he doesn't make.
He's making less money than Paul Chryst.
I know. Jim Harbaugh, just loyal Michigan man.
Yeah.
Possibly the next head coach of the Chicago Bears.
Why would he leave Michigan?
Imagine that story. He wins the national championship, then leaves after they've been calling for him to get fired for the last 5 years.
Yeah, I don't see Harbaugh leaving.
Me neither, but I would love to have him.
He's the guy that's beaten the Packers in the past.
He has. As long as we don't hire Pat Fitzgerald, that's all I ask. All right. Guards, if you're listening, we miss you. We'll see you on an episode soon, I'm sure. If you guys listen,
hopefully you changed your fantasy lineup and actually put Dalvin Cook in, you dumbass.
He did not. And if you guys like the UFC, there's a big event this weekend. Check out our UFC podcast, Ground and Pound. It'll be released actually same time this one is, and we've been on a roll there. So maybe not gambling as of late, but we are getting better. And actually, I shouldn't say we, I'm saying myself. Hunter's been on fire, so give us a listen there. We are streaming anywhere that you get your podcast, now including Amazon. So we hope to have you guys follow us over there and enjoy the weekend. If you guys are gambling, gamble responsibly. We are not responsible for your winnings or losings.